Hi, I'm the left-handed reader. Welcome back to my channel. I'm continuing with the Buddha in your mirror. Okay. Let me know where you're listening from. Thank you for listening. This is the perfect relationship, two people standing alone together. A Buddhist teacher once explained that there are 3 stages in the character development of human beings: dependent, independent, and contributive. Unfortunately, most people are completely unaware of the third, the contributive or interdependent state of life. For them, there are only 2 options: independence or dependence. Independence, the standalone self, can be a happy state because we are in control, a necessary condition of happiness. The strong, confident self, however, can easily become arrogant and isolated. But arrogance and companionship don't mix well. It is all too likely that an arrogant person will be unable to sustain fulfilling relationships. Instead, those relationships will most often end in conflict or strife. The alternative for most is dependent or codependent relationships. People give respect and love, but not freely. Strings are attached. This is the let's make a deal approach to relationships. I'll love you as long as you give me what I need. Life in this sort of relationship can only be an emotional roller coaster, climbing to exhilarating highs and plunging into desperate lows. This is because your happiness is dependent upon another's behavior, upon his or her validation of your worthiness of being loved. Happiness, in any situation, cannot be achieved without a sense of control, depending upon another to validate that we are worthy of love gives that person control over our emotions and our self-esteem. We have given up our power. Janet's experience. My husband's drinking problem. Janet had been struggling in her marriage for many years. Her husband's drinking had caused her immense suffering, not only physically and emotionally, but spiritually as well. She tried reasoning with him. She tried improving herself to be a better wife. She felt unable to effect change even though she had made effort. This led her to great self-doubt and a critical view of life. She gave up hope that her husband would stop drinking or that she would have a happy marriage. Janet considered leaving him, but the idea of being alone frightened her. At some level, her husband knew she would never leave because she was dependent, financially and emotionally, on him, so she stayed year after year after year. Since, after all, his drinking was the problem, it never dawned on her that she needed to change anything about herself. After much sincere searching for a solution, she became hopelessly resigned to her situation, too weak to muster the determination to do anything about her unhappiness. Not surprisingly, things got worse. Finally, a friend introduced Janet to Nichiren Buddhism. She began her practice in earnest, chanting Nam-myoho Renge-kyo each day. In the ensuing weeks, in addition to several conspicuous benefits, she came to a big realization. She was trying to change the wrong person. She had been convinced that all her efforts needed to be focused on getting her husband to alter his behavior, and until he did, she would continue on in her misery. As she began to learn more about Buddhist philosophy and to tap into her Buddha wisdom, it occurred to her that she needed to become happy herself, regardless of whether her husband ever stopped drinking. She awakened to the fact that she'd been disrespecting herself by allowing herself to be unhappy. By developing a stronger inner self through her Buddhist practice, Janet's behavior toward her husband, which had been fueled by anger and frustration, changed, and genuine concern for her happiness came forth from her heart. As she chanted for the happiness of both of them, strength and determination were kindled and fueled within her. She came to understand that as partners, they were facilitating each other to be weak and dependent. Finally, her resolve solidified, and she spoke to her husband. This time, she approached him differently, not out of fear or anger and without the implied message that he had to change on her behalf. She said, "I am so sorry that drinking is a problem for you, but I will no longer involve myself in it. My responsibility is to my own happiness, and I hope my own peace of mind will help you, too." With this new, genuine approach came a surprising response from her husband. He took her seriously. Finally, he could hear her. That night, he stopped drinking. Even better, beyond his return to sobriety, there quickly came a deeper change in their relationship. They released their dependent hold upon each other and replaced it with the beginnings of an interdependent, contributive life together. They started experiencing a degree of happiness they had both felt was forever beyond their reach. Her inner breakthrough, her newfound strength, wisdom, and determination uncovered through Buddhist practice was the key to initiating a life-altering external breakthrough. So is it our partner's fault if we are unhappy? In a superficial sense, perhaps, but essentially this is dictated by us, by the extent to which we persist in giving our partner the final say over our happiness. Whether our partner wants it or not, and by the extent to which we believe we cannot be happy without the help or change in behavior of another. Now, you may ask, what if Janet's husband hadn't stopped drinking? She said she would have felt sorry on his behalf, but she was prepared to be happy whether he stopped or not, even if it meant leaving. She was no longer willing to depend on him and his behavior for her happiness. As she realized how unhappy he was with their situation as well. This woman had been giving away her power. Her husband's behavior had become the determining factor in their relationship. Her strong resolve to become absolutely happy in the face of everything liberated both of them from their mutual dependency. In any relationship, we must keep our power, developing a strong self-identity and the ability to be happy on the inside. Standing alone upon the firm foundation of our own happiness, we can then seek out and nurture, contribute, sharing relationships in which we give our love freely without attachments and expectations. We're not needy of the other, nor are we addicted to the other. A relationship between two such people brings a deep and abiding love. Before going out to look for a contributive partner, we must first strive to develop that ability within ourselves. Only then will it be possible to draw forth and nurture the same quality in others. Happiness is not something that someone else, like a boyfriend or girlfriend, can give us, Daisaku Ikeda wrote in his book, The Way of Youth. We have to achieve it for ourselves, and the only way to do so is by developing our character and capacity as human beings, by fully realizing our own potential. If we sacrifice our growth and talent for love, we absolutely will not find happiness. The Buddha in your mirror. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. See you next time. Thank you.